Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Combat 2 by Compass Games. This time per Ross Martel. This is the campaign control module, Vassal module overview. This is to assist you in running a campaign on Combat 2. Will be you'll through this you'll be able to track where you are on the campaign calendar, run your patrols. I'm not sure what charts I'm going to leave in there yet. That is to be determined. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and start a new game up. We'll go over the module and how to use it. I put this in here so when you open this in combat at the same time, you don't get confused as to which one you're opening up. All right, when you first stop in here, you're going to see the campaign calendar. You'll also notice that I had the current chapter set up here for you. It defaults at training in England. Down the bottom here, we have the color-coded. Oh boy, I'm having brain farts. Color-coded menu as to which, so you know at a glance which days, which module is available, or which chapter, not module, is available for you that day. And also, as shown in the text down there, possible chapter change dates are surrounded by a black box. So when you're required to tee off on something like change the module, change the chapter, or you have multiple chapters, or in the case of up here on the Siegfried line, where is that? Where it just goes away, right up here. There we go. You can go from the bulge to or Herkin Forest straight to the bulge, or you can go from Herkin Forest down to the Siegfried line, or you can go from Siegfried line out to, I forget how it works, but anyway, any date that has a box on it, you're expected to check your chart book and make sure that you go in the roll the dice for whatever direction you're supposed to go. The other thing is each day you can either left click on it or right click on it. I have it set up that you can just right click on it and get a menu. That also sets the new month. And I'm going to get to the new month here in a little bit, but I want you guys to remember that it's new month set up here for a reason. Your menu is clear, which obviously clear the contents of that day. Your daily status, which is no event. I use that for the days like you roll a d6, the days in between the or that follow the date where you rolled your mission and or your event or patrol. Um, Events, patrol, and mission for whatever you get out of the event charts. The frontline status is either training, reserve, frontline, or front intensive. It's going to put a color code down the bottom. It's green for reserve, yellow for frontline, red for intensive front. Kind of helps you see at a glance where you're at. And then notes. You can put any notes you want, as much as you can fit in there for each day. And I'll show you how I do mine at the end of this video. I'll bring up the completed campaign from my last campaign. I'll start from left to right. Your undo button, obviously, these are all standard. D100 in there. D12 I put in there for random squad member selection. Your D10s, black and white, to coincide with the skills charts for earning skills, and your D6. Next, you have your friendly character display, and you'll recognize this from the game. And I said we get back to this later. Um, on this on this, you're just going to choose your squad. You can fill them out here, but it's better to do it on um, the other map, which I'll get to in a second. Basically, from this screen, really all you really want to do is send your squad members to the 12 slots in your squad member display. Your squad member display is going to be this one right here. And you'll see here that I have Able, Baker, 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 etc. charter, and what they can be. Not necessarily down here. You got 3 rifle grenade, but if you look at the rule book, they're not required to be riflemen. It's just they can be riflemen. So everybody in here, I'll go back to the other. Not there yet. All right. you see, you got choices, and these are basically the same as the counters that came off of the game, except that you'll have um, the opportunity to make them personalized as per your roster sheet. So what I do is go through one of these first two guys can be your squad leader, so I'll send him to say squad member one. Any of these guys can be the medic, and he kind of looks like a medic right there, so we'll make him be squad member two. Basic rifleman be squad member three. BAR squad member four. We'll just use this guy. Um, this looks like squad member five right there, and then squad number six is going to be a rifle grenade. So we're going to say maybe use this guy, and that's all I'm going to set up right now. And we'll go to the squad sheet then, and you'll see all my guys are over here. Now to set one up, you got your name and rank down the bottom here, and you just kind of push in, say whoever, Sergeant Saunders, and this is where you're going to get your information. Do the same exact thing every time you set up a mission um, on your game module. And it doesn't take that long to do. At first you think, oh man, that's a lot of work, but it really isn't, and it helps you better understand your squad every time you go into a mission too. Back to the build menu. On this one here, so you got your leadership. You put say he's a 2, your TQ, say he's a 5. Submachine gun, again, if he's carrying you roll for a Thompson, you switch that over to a Thompson. If he's not, you go to an M3. Um, you put the weapon skill in there, say he's a 5. Grenade skill, say he's a 4. Pistol skill, say he really sucks at the pistol, he's going to be a 2. And then you have, again, your combat skills and everything, and I put them, I made an icon up for everything, so you don't just have the ones that are generic that come with the rules. We made up one for everything, so you can look at a glance and see what your guys are. So say he's tough with we've been in the campaign for a while. You go to campaign skill number 2. I'd say he's lucky, and maybe we got quick reload for him. So skill number 3 would be quick reload. Then you got your 2 movement ones. Yeah, he got dodge, only one instance of it, and he's also fast. So I just go ahead and set that up like that. The other thing is, again, squad member status is if he has a buddy, you put that in there. If he has a adversary, you put that in there just as a reminder that you have those abilities, especially on the combat when you're playing in the game. It gets very difficult to remember this and look back and forth to your squad rosters. So there you have it basically, and you're not going to get that crowded. Trust me, I've played a couple of scenarios. The other things you can do with these guys are assign to patrol. So I'm going to assign him. This guy, I'll put the medic on him so I can remember he's a medic. I'm going to assign him to the patrol, and I'm going to take our BAR along, and I'll come back to that. Reset, don't want to hit that. That resets everything. Return to the character display. We'll reset that. I do this when they get killed. The only thing you have to do is go back into the character display and put the original letter back in or replace the name. It'll zero out all the stats and put them back in the character display where you first drew the counter from. Squad member status, we went through that before, buddy, and adversaries. Regular status. I put in here light wound, bad wound, so you can remember when they get wounded, what kind of wound they have. We also put in here incarcerated for the guys that are incarcerated. Recover him. I'm slowing down. There it is. I guess with bad wound and the ill's not showing. We have ill. Ill's going to bring up a reminder that you need to check him each day. It's not going to take him out of your active duty roster because he's not sent anywhere. He's just sick. You got to roll to see if he recovers or if he's sent home to get out of that. Just hit recover. We also have in the status lost, which is an effect from the patrol menu. Incarcerated, which comes from a fight, and incarcerated is going to bring him down here to the wounded section. Just click anywhere on this map before you move him around. It'll always come down to that square. You're going to have to move him manually because of all the guys coming in and out of here. It's impossible to set it up like some of the other screens where you can do them in order. And then this counter here, you put down here how many days ahead of time that he's returning as a reminder that you'll get him back on that day. And then again, just send him back to the return to the squad and then recover him. Wounded. If he gets wounded, same thing. We're going to do that, and that's going to give him a wounded, and you're going to bring that over. That's why you want to click somewhere to get rid of that, so that doesn't happen. Click, bring him over here, put this how many days ahead of time that he comes back, so you remember when you get your guy back without having too much trouble. Return to the squad. I think basically that is everything you need to know here. So we can go ahead now and go on to the next screen, which is the patrol screen. When you go to do a patrol, first thing you want to do is come up here and click a new patrol. Now, watch this dawn and dusk. They move to the current chapter or month, depending on what's called for. So you'll know when it's dark, when it's night, or when it's dark, when it's light. Next goodie down is these guys, as you see, we sent them on patrol. They will fill up these 12 hexes in order. So you'll have them there available to look at all the time. Objective, you're going to set your objective as per what you rolled in the chart. Say we're going to location 5. Your start time, say we're starting out at 1700. I'm going to put that there. Patrol VPs move as you go. Advance, advance. Return home when you're done. You can actually back them off 1, 2. Return home. Same with the patrol. It's the exact same setup, except this one here. Return to the base when you're trying to go back that way, and then all you got to do is remember to go back instead of forward. When you get that here, just hit return home, or you can leave him there. The cool thing is, say we've got the TQ of Saunders. I think it's TQ, or maybe it's TQ. We're going to get modifier -5 for him. Say we got +2 because we got free guy. I don't remember the exacts. Your modifiers anyway will all show up here. Make sure you keep track of them as you go along. So when you are performing your patrol, it's going to automatically add those into your dice roll over here just by hitting time. Just before we go to there, you see this June. That's what I was talking about. Every time you click on the main map on a new day, see we're down here. So we go down into August, we click August. That's going to click up to August now. It's important that gets updated. That's why I put a left click on this to automatically do that all the time. So you don't forget to update that, because that's going to, when you get a new patrol, it's going to set your dawn and dusk to the current month. The next thing is we've got our say we have a -3 DRMs. We're going to roll our time. Say we're at 0-100 or 2400 right now. We hit the next turn to hit time. It's going to roll our dice 46 over here. Plus, it's going to flip our marker 30 seconds or advance, depending what segment we're on. It's also going to take that 46, apply your DRMs, and bring your result over here. So you can actually bring your patrol over here and kind of keep track of things, spread it out a little bit. And I don't know, like me, I bring this down a little bit, and then I bring my chart over here and work on it. And that time just keeps going all the way along. And it just keeps, so that way you don't forget to do your time whenever you roll that. We also have the weather down here as per what you roll at the start of your patrol. When you're done the patrol, you're going to hit end patrol, and end patrol is just going to return your squad back to your squad sheet. You'll want to hit your reset DRMs. It's going to reset that down to 0, and you can go back to your squad sheet, and everybody will be in there. Next up is your roster sheets. Everything is selectable and editable. I have action buttons on it all, so if you click it with a regular left click, it's going to give you the menu you need to put in the information. This will wipe out the whole roster sheet, so I don't recommend using that. Just put the information in as you roll for it. Foxhole buddies and antagonists, I have two slots for each, and honestly, I've very rarely run into them, and I've never had a guy have two of any of them, much less each of them. So that should be plenty of slots for that. Weapons, you just select the weapons from a drop-down list, and on the same line, you're going to hit the skill level and just type that skill level in. So he's an M14, and you go down here and say you put for him that's going to be a grenade, and down here he'd have the pistol, or you'd put your rifle, grenade, or whatever down. And the same thing, just put your skill there. I mean your weapon skill next to it the same way, just by clicking here and hitting skill level. Say 5. I have spots for I think it's 14 skills for each guy, and I've found that to be more than enough for the whole campaign because I've never had anybody roll where I haven't had enough instances. Now you may have a very busy campaign where you're on missions all the time, and this may not work for you, but if it comes to that point, maybe put it down in notes or something. But 14 should be enough. Squad morale. You choose your morale from the drop-down menu. Start out okay. Merit points, re-rolls, demerit points, and must re-rolls. As you go through and collect them, you put them down here. As you use them, get rid of them. Merit points and demerit points, I have them subtractable, but you really shouldn't use them. They should only increase. You never get rid of any of them. Roster sheet number 2, exact same as roster sheet 1, except that there's notes in the back, and I gave you as much room as I possibly could for notes by splitting it in half and using every one of these for notes. You got a lot of space to put notes in. That's the roster sheets. Charts, some of these charts are going away, not all of them. I'll probably get rid of the events and maybe the patrol charts. That way you have to buy the game. I'll keep the missions in there because I like the little slider I put in there to kind of help you keep track of how to set the mission up without having to go back and pull the screen back and forth to see which one am I on? It's very difficult. So I made that up to kind of help keep track of things. Every one of them has it. They're on a drop down menu over here. Next up is patrols. I'll probably keep these in here. Like I said, I think it's the patrol charts and the event charts that I'll get rid of. And campaign charts will stay in there. Here's where I have listed all the different icons and their explanations so you know what skills you have. If you're not sure, you see the icon, you're not sure what it is, you go in there and look real quick. Chapters, that's where you adjust the current chapter you're in, and they just cycle through. And again, they'll be always listed there. I have the deck in here for the sole reason that every once in a while you're asked to draw a wound card. You can either choose to reshuffle every time, or you can just collect them over here. That's solely up to you. Nobody's going to tell you how to do that. Screenshot, zoom control, standard. This will wipe out the whole map. I do not suggest doing that. And there's the move marker, but you really don't need the move marker. I just left it in there for shits and giggles. And that is the campaign control module, which should make things a lot easier on people. We have found it very handy to run the campaign. You're not so much trying to keep track of things as you are just playing and enjoying the game. This helps immensely. So hopefully you guys will like it. I will go in real quick, close this game, and then load in my finished product so you can see what a completely, oh boy, a completed campaign looks like and how I fill out the log so you have an idea. Doesn't mean it's the way it needs to be done. It's just the way I do it. And you see here, I put an event down. I wrote an event here. This was actually a probably a 2d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And then that note goes with that event. So I know that that's how many days passed for that event. And I do the events, missions. This was like where I rolled a 1. Then I put the firefight. It was firefight 30 for that chapter. So I can easily go back and see what I actually had to do. Quiet time for that event. We were in the reserves right here. The colors, this was intensive front. This was front. Everything you can see is at a glance. Patrols are right. You can see them. They're always 1 day. So you can see basically what it looks like to have a finished campaign in there. You'll always kind of shoot straight through without too much going on the pursuit chapter. Pursuit chapters, I've done it twice now, and they go by real quick. Um, but anyway, there you have it. That's what it looks like. I also have red lines down here at the chapter breaks too, to anything to act as a visual cue for you that you need to switch chapters. So hopefully you like it. This guy came back after the end of the mission. See, I didn't want to do that. We cleared that right on out. So there you have it. That is the campaign control module for Combat 2. I hope you guys enjoy it. That'll be released in July. It's May 25th right now, so that'll be a month or so away. And we will see you guys then. I hope you all enjoy it and you all have a great night.